We're going to do one that puts everything all together now. So we're going to have to find the amplitude, period, phase shift, and vertical shift. But this time, instead of dealing with degrees, we're going to deal with radians. You can see that we're going to deal with radians because instead of using degrees like 360 or something like that in here, they're using pi. So finding amplitude, period, phase, and a vertical shift. We'll start with amplitude. Amplitude is this value right in here, which is 3. I'm going to go all the way down to vertical next because that might be the next easiest location. That would be a positive 4. For our period, remember, period, we normally take 360 degrees divided by 2/3. Well, 360 degrees is the same thing as 2 pi. So now we're going to take 2 pi and divide it by 2/3, or you can think of it as 2 pi times 3/2, which would be 3 pi. So every 3 pi, we have finished one cycle. So that's our period. Our phase, remember, this is opposite of what we would think. So if it says negative pi in here, we're shifting it over pi to the right. And now we will plot this on a graph. We're first going to start with the equation of a midline, which in this case is 4. And then we'll come up with our heights. Remember, we're adding 3 to our midline, which is 7, and then subtracting 3, which is 1. We are shifting over pi units, so I'm going to place pi on here. Then I'm going to add on a period because that will get me my first cycle. So pi plus 3 pi is 4 pi. So between pi and 4 pi, that will get me one cycle. And I'm going to take 4 pi and add on another period, which will get me 7 pi. So there's 2 cycles. Since we are dealing with sine, I'm going to plot those locations on here. Since we're dealing with sine, we know that we would start in the middle. So at pi, 4 pi, and 7 pi, we're going to be at the height of 4. I'm also going to draw in this dashed line so I know I don't cross over top of it. I'm going to find the intercepts in the middle. So in the middle, in here, we would take pi plus 4 pi, which is 5 pi, and then I would divide it by 2. So 5 pi divided by 2 is 5 pi halves. So 5 pi divided by 2. And we can do the same thing over here. 4 pi plus 7 pi is 11 pi divided by 2. So since we're dealing with sine, again, we're going to be right there. These would be the locations of your intercepts. We'll come up, I don't think we're really going to come up with the middle locations this time, but the equation of your sine or the graph of your sine function would look like this. Remember, to find this location, you would have to take pi plus 5 pi over 2, add them together, and divide by 2 again. I don't think I'm going to worry about that as much as what does the general graph look like